Hey guys, thank you for taking our best quote. And if you are new to this channel, please do well to subscribe. And if you are listening on podcast, please also try to follow so that you can get new updates. So in this episode, I'll be talking about ability. Again, like we are still having a series on ability. So, however, I'll be talking about why energy is even much more important than just having ability. And by ability, I mean having skills, being talented, going for whatever thing you are doing and you think you are good at it. If your energy is not right, it can actually hurt you in a lot of ways that you can think of. So there is this quote from someone, Thomas Arnold, that says, the difference between one man and another is not mere ability. It is energy. Now, that is very, very true. When you look at it, having ability, of course, we've hyped it a lot, said ability is very good, having skill, being talented, they're all very good and they make you, a better person. However, on previous episode, we've talked about having ability, getting opportunities, and how you can make it work for yourself. But now we'll be talking about why energy is even much more important than that. Now, you can have ability in a lot of things, but if your energy is not right, you are going to miss out on a lot of things. Now, like I like to do, I like to give examples. I try to relate it with what we can relate to. So let's take, for example, you have friends. Of course, we all have friends that we want to relate with. We have friends that we seek advice from or we call for when we need something. Now, amongst your friends, you will see that there is always someone you tend to gravitate towards. Either when you are seeking advice for something or when you want to get something, you need immediate help or support, there's someone you usually gravitate towards. And it's not because they are the best at a particular thing. Of course, sometimes they might be the best. Or it's not because they are the most talented or the most skilled. However, it's because there is a chemistry between you and that person. Take, for example, now, maybe you want to buy a car, for example. And all your friends have nice cars. Of course, you might have car before, but your friends have nice cars, luxury cars, and you want to buy a luxury car. You talk to your friends. There is someone you want to actually take the advice. It's not because maybe that they have the most expensive car, so they should have the most amount of knowledge. Of course, they might actually have, but there is someone you want to go with, and this person might just be someone you have a connection with. You like their energy, you like the way they treat things, you like the way they attend to issues, you like the way they live their life, you like their personality in whole essence. So they might not always be right, they might still get one or two things wrong, and sometimes even the advice they might give you might not sit well with you completely. But for some reasons that you can't even explain to yourself, you just want to go with what they tell you. Yeah, there's some reasons you can't just put a finger on why that is, but you tend to want to listen to them. You tend to want to, heed to what they're telling you or what they're advising you to do more than the other people. Now, this can also be related to in terms of relationships. For example, you see a girl with a particular guy, or even a guy with a particular girl, and you'll be wondering, what's the correlation here? This girl, you don't think in your own mind, you don't think that the guy is fit for the girl or the girl is fit for the guy. You'll be thinking, okay, what does this guy see in this girl? Or what does this girl see in this guy? But the truth is that they might not actually be looking compatible to you in your eye physically, but the energy might be right for them. The guy might feel a sort of chemistry, between him and the girl, or the girl, vice versa, might also feel the same way. So looks aside, skills aside, smartness aside, money aside, sometimes you see, a broke nigga. I don't know if I should use that word here, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you see a broke guy dating a very, classic girl that you wouldn't even think is possible. But the chemistry might be right. Yeah, of course, sometimes it might be, the game. Maybe the guy has a lot of game, a lot of that. But the game tends to help him build the attraction that, generates a good energy that, tends to show that he has the right personality. And that works for them. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is that energy is the main source of that personality. And personality is very important when you are dealing with people. So even if you have the right skills, the right ability, and your personality is not great, it will affect how people will deal with you. people tend to connect with people. People tend to do business with people they like. I think it's Brian Tracy that said that people tend to do business with people they like. So if people connect with you, they want to do business with you. And connecting with you means your energy is good, your personality is good. Now, I was going through my Twitter timeline and I saw this tweet about from a lady that was talking about some of the things that she learned in her master's, doing her MBA, and how it actually has helped her right now in her business world. So she was trying to, raise some funding for her business, and she was talking to people. And one of the persons that she, approached with her proposal, requested to further the interaction, get to know her better before he's going to invest. And she said, in her previous self, kind of before she did the MBA, that she would have just cut ties with that person immediately, because she doesn't believe that someone needs to know her personality to be able to invest in her business. If the business is right, the revenue is good, and every other thing has been checked out, the person doesn't need to know her personally. So she would have checked out. But during her program, she got to realize that there are different kind of investors. There are those who, I've forgotten the terms that she used, but there are those who actually focus on what the business brings to the table. How is the business faring? What is the customer base? What is the revenue base? What is the prospect of the business? And once those things are checked out, they are investing. But there are those who don't really look. Of course, they still care about that, but that is not the main thing that they care about. They care much more about the person behind the brand, the person behind the business. What is their personality like? Because they believe if you have the right personality, no matter what the business is, that you are going to make it work. And even if disaster calls, you will be strong enough to handle the disaster. Because if you don't have the right personality, if disaster comes, you will also be a disaster yourself. So how will they manage that? And no one invests in a company thinking that they will lose their money. No. Of course, there's a good percentage or a good chance that you lose your money when you're investing in a startup. But a lot of times people are hopeful, people are optimistic, and that is why they invest. So when they're investing, they want to make sure that their money is going to be not just recovered, but recovered with dividends. So they talked about, okay, now this person requested that they should meet, have more discussions so that he can get to know her better. And she agreed. And she was surprised at herself that, wow, well, she's, put into practice what she learned in her program. And over some date, I won't call it a date, rather. I would say, they went out for some business interactions, meeting, discussing much more about the thing, talking more about her own life, and all of that. And there is hope that this person is going to invest. Of course, she didn't say that the person has invested already. But that goes to show that some people care much more about you as a person. They care much more about the energy that you exude as a person. And that energy transforms or becomes what is known as a personality. So if you have the right personality, people tend to do business with you, people tend to connect with you, people tend to relate with you. And sometimes, you would have said it that, some people in business, you don't think that they have the best business model or they have the best business, but people still do business with them because they have the right energy. And because of that energy, their personality sometimes overshadows the faults that they have. Their personality overshadows the bad part or the things that are not working well for them. But their energy is good, their personality is good, so people relate with them and do business with them despite the other aspects that are not that good, because they believe that they will eventually be able to fix those parts. But if your personality is bad and you have all the right credentials, there's possibility that whatever business you are doing might be a disaster along the path. That's what I think about this quote now. Let me know what you think about it. What's your understanding? What's your thought about it? And of course, leave it in the comment section. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. And of course, do subscribe so that you can get more updates. Thank you guys, and thank you.